Man, oh man. Just when you thought things couldn't be getting any better for the Vancouver Canucks, they go out there and give the fans a holiday treat. First game back after the break, playing off against a San Jose team that they haven't lost to in ages, and they have an opportunity to go out there and break 500 for the first time this year? You knew something was going to happen in this game. Whether that's good or bad or positive, whatever the Canucks end up doing, there was going to be something to talk about in this one, and man, did the Canucks come out on top. Vancouver takes the game 6-2 against San Jose at home at Rogers Arena before heading out to Winnipeg and Calgary on a mini road trip later this week. They are above 500 for the first time all year with 35 points in 34 games played. Kind of funny how things have gotten to this point because they started the season off poorly. They lost out on a whole bunch of games where they had the lead. They could have started the season off like 4-0 or something like that, but nah, they had to be losing all these games eventually because blown leads. But either way, the Canucks are now officially above 500 and they are only, 5 points out of the wildcard spot? Which doesn't sound too good when you put it like that, but hey, at least they're stringing together wins, and multi-goal wins at that. The Canucks are coming off of 2 straight games where they only allowed 2 goals against, which is pretty impressive for this version of the Vancouver Canucks. They haven't been all too great at keeping the puck out of their own zone, so seeing a game like this, following up that win against Edmonton the other night, both of which saw Bo Horvat, Captain Canuck, getting 4 points each, 2 goals, 2 assists in, it makes for some pretty good fan service. Now, whether or not that changes the direction of this team, all the stuff that we had talked about with Darren Dreger and his comments about the team potentially building towards the draft and not the playoffs, that remains to be seen. But for now, all we can do is appreciate that the Vancouver Canucks have indeed done this, and they gave us some pretty good goals to show for it as well. First goal of the game comes about 5 minutes into the contest. It's Ilya Mikheyev who has a shot on the rush that deflects over to the side of the net, and right where Bo was the other night against Edmonton, he is here once again, as he's on the back door, and he's able to shovel the puck into the open cage, making it 1-0 Vancouver. The Canucks then go to the box. It's Luke Schenn who interferes with Tomas Hertl, but they're able to kill off the power play. Martin, by the way, looking very good early on. He continued being pretty good as the game continued. But with a few minutes to go in the first period, it's a long shot from Luke Schenn. The rebound is loose out in front, and Elias Pettersson is there to make it 2-0. It was actually Lane Peterson who shoveled the puck on goal on the first rebound, and the second rebound is Elias Pettersson, who is right there to bury it right by Reimer. 2-0 Vancouver at the end of the first, or so we thought, as the aforementioned Lane Peterson goes to the box with 1 minute to go in the first frame. The Sharks end up making a slap pass play. It's Erik Karlsson who shoots it, and it gets deflected twice, once off of Couture and then once off of Timo Meier on the back door, and he's able to angle his skate and direct the puck into the goal. 2-1 at the end of the first period, even though the Canucks actually look like the better team. Second period starts, and Nick Bonino goes to the box for holding. However, the Canucks cannot score on the power play. The second unit, though, gets some extended zone time during this man advantage as well as into the 5v5 play after the penalty expires. Both Benning and Couture are down after blocking shots, and as the penalty expires, it's Kuzmenko who comes right back in with a cross-crease pass to Mikheyev. One-timer, scores, great play, it's 3-1, and it only took Vancouver 5 minutes to get on the board here in the second period. Give it a few more minutes, and Quinn Hughes, the man of the hour, the guy goes out there and does his best Cale Makar impression. He circles the zone, throws it out in front of Brock Boeser. Boeser is not able to get it by, but Quinn Hughes chases his own rebound. He goes into the corner, goes around the zone once more, takes a lap, and then as he comes in on the left side, absolutely buries it top shelf on Reimer. That was an incredible goal. Probably one of the best that we have seen. Best individual efforts we have seen all season long. And Quinn Hughes finally gets his first goal on the year. As I said, man, Cale Makar-esque. I feel like that's really the one thing that separates Hughes and Makar, aside from, of course, the fact that Makar is a Stanley Cup champion. It's that Makar has that gear that allows him to cut into the zone and not be afraid to just bury goaltenders with his shot. Quinn, unfortunately, has not really developed in that way just yet, but when it comes to just the skills, the reads, the offensive prowess, etc., etc., I feel like Makar and Hughes are kind of in a tier of their own when it comes to NHL defenders. Of course, you have Dahlin and Karlsson, who are also kind of there too, but Hughes and Makar battling it out for trophies, the Calder, the Hobie Baker, all that stuff throughout their careers. It makes for a nice narrative to go out there and paint. But either way, continuing on with this game over here, it's 4-1 Vancouver after the Hughes goal, and the star for the rest of the second period was none other than Spencer Martin, who had to be very sharp as the Sharks missed a few open nets. Lane Peterson was able to save a goal that was behind Spencer Martin. He had to swat that puck away. But either way, the Canucks defensively in the second period, sure, they gave up a few chances, but the goaltending really came out and helped them. So, Spencer Martin, absolute beast. This was one of the better games that he has had all season long, I feel. And the third period gets underway, and he shows off even more of that prowess as he absolutely robs Tomas Hertl. The puck squeaks over to the right side, and Hertl gets an open net opportunity, but he's thwarted away by a sprawling, desperado Spencer Martin. A few minutes later, Martin makes another beautiful stop, this time on a cross-crease play from Karlsson over to Timo Meier. A few minutes after that, it's Bo Horvat who gets a rush chance. He streaks down the right side, and he absolutely picks the top left corner out at the hash marks. He takes a pretty long-range snipe shot, and it gets right by Reimer. It beats him clean. That's his second multi-goal game in back-to-back games. That's his 26th on the year. So with the first goal he had scored in the first period, that overtook Pastrnak and Robertson, both of whom Horvat was tied with 24 goals each for third in the NHL in goals. And with this goal, the other one on the snipe, he ends up tying Tage Thompson for second in the league in goals, just a few behind Connor McDavid, who scored today, putting him at 31. But that's not all from Captain Bo, as we'll see in a little bit. But before we see more from Bo and Brock, it's actually Erik Karlsson who comes out on a rush by himself. He plays it out to the side, and Timo Meier scores 5-hole on a one-timer, making it 5-2. And then a few minutes later, it's Horvat and Mikheyev grinding away down low, just winning puck battles, getting back possession. Eventually, it's Bo who, behind the net, throws it back in front for Boeser, who holds it, he shoots it, he snipes it. The same top corner that beat Reimer earlier on the Bo goal gets beaten once more on this Brock Boeser snipe. That was a classic Boeser goal. Just the hold, shoot, and snipe. That was the best snipe that we've seen from Brock in a few months, I feel. And it's a Bo Horvat assist once again, so that's his second 4-point night in back-to-back games. He's got 8 points in his last 2 games. Bo Horvat, I mean, look, I kind of called him out earlier by saying the Satyr Shah thing, where he doesn't do anything to help his team win other than score goals himself, but back-to-back 4-point nights. Pretty good. But 6-2 is the ultimate score here. I don't really know what else is there to say, honestly. Like, they played really well. I know the Sharks are not the best team in the world. Like, they're definitely an easy opponent when you consider all the other opponents that the Canucks can beat. But then again, I mean, getting these divisional points, that's important. Getting back in there, getting into the swing of things, boosting up the stats, that is very good for my fantasy team. I am up very much so on the first night of this matchup as Bo Horvat got the multi-point game again. He single-handedly won me the week last week in fantasy, so very thankful for Captain Bo doing what it is that he does. But at the end of the day, I am back here at home from vacation. We took the ferry back earlier today. That is why I'm able to sit down and record this video. Very nice to get back into the swing of things. I'm ready to make more videos than ever before and watch more Canucks hockey, especially if they give us entertainment like this. Sure, it's entertaining when they lose and we all start to panic and talk about trading everybody, but still, games like these, very nice as well. Stat padding on the night, as we had said, Bo Horvat got 2 goals and 2 assists, but that wasn't it. Boeser had a goal and 3 assists. You had Ilya Mikheyev with a goal and 3 assists. Elias Pettersson, of course, with a goal. Peterson, Kuzmenko, each with assists as well. Quinn Hughes had a goal. Myers had an assist. Luke Schenn had an assist. And Spencer Martin, a 9.23 save percentage in this one. 26 shots against and 24 saves. Meanwhile, James Reimer had 6 goals against on 25 shots, so he had a 7.60 save percentage. Not the best there, but then again, I mean, the Sharks weren't really all too great to begin with. Timo Meier gets 2 goals for San Jose. Erik Karlsson gets 2 assists. Good on him for boosting his point totals as well. But talk to the comments either way all your thoughts about the Canucks and the Sharks. I hope you enjoyed this Juraj 9. And bye.